Thank you. We'll call the December 2024 meeting of Greenville Board of Public Works and Safety to order at 5:30 p.m. Amanda, roll call, please.
Mr. Colvin?
Here.
Mr. Hoover?
Here.
Mr. Rutherford?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have two sections of minutes to call. The first is our regular session of November 6, 2024. So any corrections or additions, deletions from staff with respect to those minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. In our last meeting of November 18th, the minutes, any corrections, additions, or deletions from staff on those? Hearing none. Is
Move
there
for
a
approval.
motion? Thank you,
Second.
Mr. Colvin. Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Mr. Petty, we're going to talk to you first. Good evening.
Good evening. I have a couple items on the agenda. First, request approval to purchase a 2024 Chevrolet Tahoe pursuit model at $49,995 for the fire department. That's be paid with funds available in the 2024 GO fund.
Greg, that's okay from here.
I'll move for approval. I'll second.
For the discussion, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And secondly, requesting conditional approval of a 36 months contract with Samsara for 205 GPS units. Will go in not all the vehicles, but some of the vehicles. It will interact with Fleetio. It will give live information. It will also help us track things. Maybe we can get a little better grip on some of our insurance issues. We've been demoing. I've had 5 demo units, and it's really been positive, the feedback you can get from them. It's a 3-year contract for 205 modules at $40,934 a year to be paid using funds available in the 2025 budget.
Is the annual contract at 40,000 plus, is that for monitoring or is it replacing units? Are they in the last 3 years?
Anything goes wrong with any of the modules, yes, they'll be.
It's a maintenance contract, essentially, what you're saying.
It's monitoring
Monitoring and maintenance. Okay.
and maintenance.
Okay. Do we have GPS modules now in any of our vehicles?
No, just the 5 demo units that
Okay.
we've been dealing for the last several months.
That'll monitor like speed and.
It'll monitor speed,
location,
excessive braking, excessive acceleration, hard turns. I get all the notifications now from our. Yes, and you can set it up to where it'll send in notice if you go X amount of miles an hour over posted speed limit in that area, then I automatically get a notification that this vehicle is exceeded by X amount of miles.
Other questions for Todd?
I move for approval. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Oh,
Go ahead.
just to verify.
It is
I said the
subject
conditional to
subject to
final
legal-
approval by
legal.
legal.
legal department review.
Thank you.
Mr. Stone. I'm gonna say, is there gonna be those in the mayor's? What's that? I wonder if those GPS will be in a couple suburban.
December presentation.
And I'm not making that.
You should be able to share from those screens. It shows you're good.
Everybody's good, right?
Yeah.
Hey, good afternoon. Happy belated Thanksgiving to everybody,
Same to you.
your families. We are here to do our quarterly, here tonight to do the quarterly sanitation financial review to the third quarter or September 30th closed period for current year. All I know you have a lot on your agenda, so we'll be concise, but wanted to provide an update. So again, just for anyone in the audience or on the Zoom, first time you've seen this presentation, these are done quarterly. They've been done consistently throughout the rate period to provide updates on forecasts, actuals, et cetera. And there intended to be a continuous monitoring of the rates and charges. So just for historical context, this chart shows the revenue and expense actuals versus the original plan. Keep in mind, the dashed lines here are the original plans. The solid lines represent the actuals cumulatively through this point in time. So what's interesting here is that, and again, this is through the third quarter or September 30th of this year, and the actuals are really right in line on the revenue side with the original estimates. And keep in mind, those were the original estimates made in the rate case approved in the fall of 2020. So those are multi-year projections versus actual at this point. So on the revenue side, Controller and I feel pretty good with where that is at, and the expenses really quarter over quarter and year over year, that has been a consistent theme that we've presented to you all now. A lot of that has to do with where sort of the treatment conversations have been going, and as well as sort of where some of the capital improvement plan dollars have been going relative to the original rate study. So in short, the revenue is right in line with the original estimates. It continues to be normalized a little bit over this past quarter, and expenses continue to be below plan. As far as the cash and investment, so right now the operating fund is approximately $36 million in cash, just shy of $9 million in investments, versus a required bond covenant operations maintenance reserve about $4.5 million. There's a variety of other funds that are assigned or restricted. Those are specifically either engineering restrictions, impact fee, or bond and interest funds. And we'll continue to work to make sure we kind of maximize that investment opportunity for the utility while those funds aren't needed for any sort of debt or large capital expenditures. The revenue trends, this is looking at month-over-month cumulative, month-over-month incrementals. You can see the kind of seasonality. There is a little period during the summer months where there's a summer sprinkle adjustment where you'll see sort of a reduction in that as the utility is providing a credit for watering, whereas otherwise those non-summer periods, it's purely consumption driven off the water meter. The trends year over year, so actually if you looked at that chart through Q2 or mid-year, revenue was actually a little high to plan, and then we normalize in Q3. A little bit of that is because there was a billing actually posted in October, so it's cut off from this report. You'll see it in your 2024 report. Looking at the expenses, so the current budget is just shy of $27 million in the operating fund. Through the first 9 months of the year, actual expenditures on a cash basis was $13.3 million. So 75% through the calendar year, 50% spent in the budget. Actual expenses posted year over year, specifically September 30th, 2024, September 30th, 2023, spending was actually down 6%. And then the last slide I have is just the current capital improvement plan. I will say the new superintendent director is sort of actively reworking this. I had a conversation with him last week, and I know Randy is working through, Mr. Weathers is working through with HWC Engineering a full East Side master plan. So we have not had a recent CIP internal meeting. I believe we'll probably have one of those here in the next month or two, and that will be the workshop and the opportunity to kind of integrate in those new plans to make sure this is updated for. So I would expect this to stay largely the same even for your 2024 year recap, but by the Q1 2025 report, we hope to have an updated capital improvement plan that's reflecting the report outputs from the HWC engineering master plan out east. Okay. That's all I have. I'm happy to take any questions.
Questions for Adam? Adam, as always, thank you very much.
Well done, thank you.
Thanks. Go on next night.
Be careful out there.
Next on our agenda is Emerson Point Apartments. Mr. Heck, are you online with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hi, Joe. Yes, we can hear you. And we've got.
Hi there, yeah, just, go ahead.
I said we've got Paul Peony's memo in front of us. Anything out of the ordinary that we need to know?
No, we're just, we're gonna have to work on getting that encroachment agreement. See that, yeah, that was something that must have slipped through when we got these approvals back in 2021. So yeah, we're good with those. So we're just, yeah, just need to accept the completion and accept the maintenance bonds and release the performance bonds, all we're asking for Emerson Point Apartments.
Paul, anything that's not set forth in the memo?
No, everything for the memo.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Heck or Paul? If not, is there a motion to approve the request?
I move that we approve the request subject to the conditions outlined in the report.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Good evening. Next, we're going to turn to Lions Park. Mr. Copenhaver.
Yes, I'm here.
You're online with us, yeah. We've also got a memo from Paul Peony in front of us on your matter as well. Anything out of the ordinary from you?
No.
And Paul, do you agree?
Correct. Yes, they had a revised plat to us this afternoon, but there were still a few minor things to take care of, so all those conditions still apply.
I'll move for approval of those conditions. I'll second that, but Brent, don't tell your dad that it went through this fast and easy.
Okay.
Brent, that smooths it along, I guess. Okay. Any further questions for Brent or Paul? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
We have a motion and a second, so I'm just looking for a vote.
But all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Good. Thanks.
Have a good evening. Next, we're going to turn to Lone Pine Farm, Section 2. Adam Braun from Braun Property. We have somebody in person.
We
Always glad to see that.
we like it personally.
Enjoy coming in person.
Good.
Yep, no, just, this is the second phase of Lone Pine Farms. Work is completed, bond, plat, everything have been turned in. So as far as I'm concerned, everything should be in order for acceptance of that project. That's it.
You agree with what Adam had to say?
Yes. Comment B on the conditions. I did have a chance to review the revised plat. It came in after I prepared the memo, and it's okay. So really, it's just
Condition A.
yeah. And we're working with Adam on that because it's just waiting for approval from the Stormwater Board to allow the mayor to sign the O&M manual. So
I move for approval subject to that condition.
second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
gentlemen.
Adam. Moving right along, Brighton Knoll, Mike Gordon. Good evening. Wish we could give you points for appearing in person, but
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is a release of a performance bond on the off-site
Right.
stormwater only.
Yeah, this was, it's a little bit of an odd situation. They had to bring off-site sanitary sewer from Cutsinger Road north into Brighton Knoll subdivision. And while doing that, the bioretention area that had been constructed for Fire Station 93, it was damaged while they were going through there. They had to damage it to get the pipe through. So back in June, when Allen Commercial Group asked for the plat, they weren't able to finish that bioretention area because the plantings that they had to put in it were unavailable at that time. So we asked them to post a performance guarantee for that work. The work's now been done, it's been inspected, everything appears to be okay. It's my understanding there's a 1-year warranty on the plantings, and so Mike Weaver with the Stormwater Department has it on his calendar to make sure he goes out in the spring of 2025 to look them over to make sure everything's good. If not, the Allen Group, they definitely agreed to replace any plantings that may need replaced. So there's really not a need for a maintenance guarantee on this either, because it is really part of the offsite sanitary that we already have a maintenance guarantee for.
Any other questions for Mike? Leon?
I move for approval.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. Anyone from the audience wish to address us, either here in the room or online? Hearing nothing, we'll move on to Mr. Hodson.
First up is a CDBG grant agreement with Bridges Alliance of Johnson County. These are federal funds that we're required to disperse, and I believe we did this last year.
Questions for Sam?
I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Only other matter I have is a request for approval of an outdoor lighting agreement with the REMC for the Del Webb Community Section 1A.
Questions on this? We approve that agreement.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Oh,
I have one item, for the Worksville Road Reconstruction Project, Section 3, that's the portion between US Highway 31 and Neighbor Road, the new roundabout that was built. The project's been open to traffic since November of 2021, so 3 years. Everything's been completed and accepted by the city and/or NDOT since it was a federally funded project. And what this is giving official release of the temporary easements that were needed to construct the project, because those easements would no longer be needed at this time. So we're engineering division is asking for approval of the release of easements taken for temporary right of way for parcels 2, 3, 4, 7, and 12, and authorize the mayor to sign the release.
any further questions for Paul? None, I'll move that we approve as requested.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Paul. Mr. Kruger, moving to you kind of early in the evening. That's good.
Trey?
Well, I will move this with the approval of claims.
Second.
Wasn't trying to disrespect you, Gary, but I was enjoy the fact that you don't have to. Further discussion on the claims? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll stand adjourned at 5:48 PM. Thank you all. Paul, you got some stuff there, looks like.
Yeah.
Sign? Okay. Guys doing okay back there? How you doing okay? Yep. Ran to your mother the other night, grocery store. Talked way too long. Talked too much about you and Emily.
Slick roads.